Welcome back to Todd Family Farm. So today is Monday and Pop actually is heading out we just got barn chores done and Papa's mowing a couple of the grass strips around the edges of our fields. Just got like 2 of those, but I think there's some pretty thick hay on them. We're mowing them for hay, so we might get a couple bales off of those here in a couple days. And our project for today is to fix the 27 because our 2755 loader tractor has been having some major steering problems. So we're going to be replacing the seals and stuff, and we think that'll fix it. So that's what we're going to be working on today. It's going to be a hot one, like 96, somewhere around there. So that's that, I guess. Okay, so we're rebuilding the cylinder that goes in there, and we got it off, and we have the parts here that you put in there, but we've decided that we're going to let John Deere actually do the rebuilding, so we're going to take this down there and let them do it. Okay, everybody, so it is now Wednesday, and we took that part down to John Deere on Monday. They're supposed to have that rebuilt, that cylinder rebuilt by the end of this week, so hopefully we can get the 27 back up and going and not have it down too long. And got that hay mow down on Monday, I think it was. Papa raked it, flipped it over yesterday so it could dry, and I think he's going to rake it again this morning, and then we're going to bale it up this afternoon. So it's not that much, but it might make a couple bales, so pretty much it. Okay, so we're up at the lean-to now. Here's the 27. You can see it is still down for the count. We're just waiting for that cylinder to get back, which hopefully will be this week. Like I said earlier, Papa's out raking hay. One thing that we're going to be doing while he's raking hay is we are going to be welding a little bit on the 84. So our 8430 tractor, it actually has a crack in the rim of one of the left, I think it's left front tires. So that is not good. And instead of buying a whole new tire, we're gonna weld that crack to fix it. So Dad's bringing it around. I'll show you what that looks like. Then hopefully we're gonna get that fixed up, and hopefully that is fixed for good. Okay, we've got the 84 up here, so here is the crack. Got it marked. You can see it there. It started to crack and it is growing. So we're gonna get that welded up and hopefully that will fix that. Okay, it is fixed. It's finished. We actually painted over it a little bit, so looks nicer. That's pretty much it right now, and then we're gonna bale hay about 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Okay, Abby said there was a question about how we do our bale shape and stuff, and I'll let you know. So we have a monitor in here, and this is the monitor. And I don't know, you can't see it the best, but this says gate latched. That'll turn green when we have the gate latched. This light doesn't work perfectly, but that just flashes when it's full. It's supposed to be solid when it starts wrapping, but it actually goes off. Then that's red when it gets oversized, but that doesn't really work. But right here, these needles, there's a needle here and a needle there. And when those needles are telling me, ideally you keep them in the center, but it's nearly impossible to keep them both in the center. So when it's low, that means that side, you're going to have a bale that's small on that side. So if this one's down and that one's up, then your left side's small, your right side's big. That won't be good. Most of the time, these are both going to be running kind of high. So when you're doing your bale, you try to keep it even on both sides. We don't have real hay fields right now. We have in the past. But we just piece together waterways around the pond and such. And we're not pushing a lot of cattle right now, so we just are baling some areas that are better off in grass. And we get these small windrows of hay most of the time. So you have a tight windrow of hay, but actually today we're going to be in some big windrows, but most of the time you have a smaller windrow of hay. And you have to really try, so you don't just drive over the center of it. Many times I'll have a windrow over on going right on that side of the tire to feed into the right side of the bale to make the right side of the bale bigger. Then I'll have to move over and feed it into this side. Now I'll have that tire, I'll have the windrow right going in that side. So when you have nice alfalfa or big fields, you can bring two swaths together and you'll see they'll just be like two rows right beside twin rows. And you can just drive right down the center of that. And most of the time, that just makes a beautiful bale. And it feeds in evenly on both sides. But when you're just piecing together or you're only doing single windrows, you start out making your bale by weaving. You really have to zigzag. And then you get some on that side of the baler, and you zigzag back and forth. And then you just start trying to keep it even. So I bale for the neighbor. And he'll have thin spots and thick spots and heavy spots and light spots. And it's quite a challenge making a decent sized bale on these old balers. And then, of course, when you tie, you sit there in one spot for quite a while and it gets that twine around it. New balers, they have different means of evening it out, the bales, I think. But they do have net wrap. And so it just goes around one time and you kick the bale out. And they can go a lot faster because they're not waiting for the twine to wrap. But it's quite a challenge trying to feed the hay into the side of the baler that needs it. And it's not impossible, but you try to have a nice, even, square-looking bale of hay. That gauge right back there, there's a little circle back there halfway up that side of the baler. That's my high compaction pressure, and that pretty well takes care of itself. You set that once, you set it and forget it. And we don't try super hard bales. We're doing it for ourselves. We're not selling by weight or by bale, so they don't have to be like super impressive. We just pack it nice and tight for ourselves and something comfortable. And if we don't want them as heavy, we just make the bales smaller. So that's baling in a nutshell.
Okay, so we're gonna get this last little bit of hay up, and we'll show you how it wraps.
So I'll just tell you how we wrap it. That's a pretty good sized bale, and it's wrapped in there nice. And there's a little right over here, right in there, is an arm. And what happens is, and the twine goes up right there and then up there. Okay? What happens is we've got a bunch of twine over there in that side compartment. And when that arm goes around, it's sticking out the end and it grabs hold into the bale, and then the bale starts winding it around. Because that bale is going around and around and around in them belts. And all the time that bale is going around and around and around and around. And we drive over the hay and it gets sucked up in there and it goes around and around and around. And so a hay bale is, you know how like you think about a snowball, when you start at the top of the mountain and you go down and it just keeps adding up? That's really what you're doing with a hay bale. You're just making it snowballing the whole time. So when you stop, the twine will start wrapping around the bale by itself. So that arm, it goes all the way over to one side pretty fast. and then it slowly, and the twine will be coming out of my fingertips, you know, slowly comes back around, and all that arm is doing is guiding where it's going around that bale. And the bale is going around, and then it's taking the twine. So all you have to do is let that twine go around the bale, and that's what that arm does. It goes all the way back across, and then it gets caught, and then it cuts itself at the end. And that's how you tie a bale. We got the cylinder rebuilt and we've got it put back on. So we're going to give her a test run, and we're kind of hot and tired. So we're crossing our fingers that it's going to work. I think it's going to work.
Okay, so it is now Monday. We did get the 27 fixed, and they got the cylinder back to us on Thursday, I think. We got that put on, and it's back up and running. It does really good now. So very happy to have the 27 back up in action. And then while they were down there picking up the cylinder from John Deere, they also stopped by and picked up a few plants from Tyson. So Mom's gonna show you that and talk a little bit about those. So we went to Tyson's, as Abby said, and Tyson's is like, I don't know, there's Farm and Home, Rural King, Tyson's. Around here it's Tyson's. So, and their garden center, about mid-June, they mark everything down. They had everything 50% off. So we usually take advantage of that when they mark stuff down. And we got 8 bushes total, 4 service berries or Saskatoon berries, and 4 honeyberries. Honeyberries, I believe Joe Graves had mentioned. And so we wanted to try those and see how they do. They're supposed to be cold hardy. We've tried blueberries before, but blueberries can be kind of picky. And so we haven't done very well with those. So we're excited to try these honeyberries and see how they do. So these are the 4 honeyberries around the front here. And if they don't look perfect, it's because, you know, like I say, they're 50% off. It's getting to be the end of the season, so but they should just take off and do really well, hopefully. And then the other 4 in the back are the service berries, or Saskatoon berries. And we have a lot of those planted down in our tree lot down by our pond. But we thought it'd be nice to have some up close here that are a little bit bigger, and you know, they're already producing. So we're really excited for these bushes, and it kind of goes along with we have a row of lilacs here, and then back behind the lilacs I have aronia berries. Aronia berries you don't eat fresh. I like to make a syrup during the winter time that's very high in vitamin C and all that good stuff. So I like to have the aronia berries, and then the lilacs, and then there's now our new bushes. So we're excited to see how these do, and hopefully next year or so we can be getting a little bit of a crop off of them, and hopefully they do well. Okay, so I think that's going to be it for this video. Thank you again, Joe, for suggesting the honeyberries. We're looking forward to seeing how those do. I think that's going to be it for this video, so thank you all so much for watching. We really appreciate everyone who supports our channel, so thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.